making its breakthroughs in home optimization. Even in the humblest of settings, you can turn your simple abode into a high-tech habitat.
Welcome home. Lights and electronics have been switched to the at-home mode.
While in the past such so-called smart homes were nothing more than a fantasy for everyone other than the super rich. But on the back of advances in microelectronics and computing capabilities, homeowners with a little spare cash can turn their nest into an automated sanctuary. But it's not just increased comfort that home automation offers. Thanks to system integrators like Luxury Systems here in Russia, an optimized house can save homeowners hundreds of dollars a month on electricity, heating, and water alone. While there are plenty of software options out there on the market, this integrator has found one Russian company, Iridium Mobile, whose product is way ahead of the competition.
The advantage over similar products made in the West is that this program can be integrated with virtually any automation system. It is flexible enough to support all of them, and it also gives the installer the tools to customize the user interface to conveniently control all sorts of equipment from one page. This eliminates the task of having to map two different systems. Another advantage is that this program can be installed on virtually any mobile device, as well as on PCs featuring the traditional Windows software. It is also compatible with Mac products such as the iPad and iPhone, as well as the Android platform. In other words, there are practically no limits for it.
While flashy interfaces and mobile controls are pleasing on the eye, they'd be useless without this unassuming maze of wires. Here the Russian-made controller system gives the owner peace of mind no matter what happens. That's because, unlike other home automation systems, this one developed and produced by a company called OVEN has a foolproof backup plan that gives additional protection in the case of any kind of power outage or emergency situation. Such backups are necessary for industrial customers who form the backbone of the company's clients. Large-scale manufacturers have been exploiting OVEN's know-how for decades. However, as home automation has caught on in Russia, they started adapting their products to work on small-scale projects like in an individual house or apartment. In doing so, they've been able to transfer their treasure trove of knowledge and experience in the industrial sphere and apply it to benefit the little guy. And because their hardware was originally designed to handle massive, highly complex tasks, the controllers they make for homes have significant spare capacity and capability. Fortunately for the developers at OVEN, tweaking the dispatch controllers for the home hasn't required all that much additional work.
Since we already have experience in industrial applications, we simply take advantage of what we can already do and just use it in completing orders for private homes. Naturally, all equipment passes all the same relevant checks, since testing is a mandatory part of the production process. Another important factor is ensuring that the required quality standards are adhered to throughout the process, which are also monitored and maintained by the means of tests.
But to make their products ideal for home automation, additional threats have to be considered. Here, OVEN technicians are making sure their adapted products won't be negatively affected by electromagnetic fields, which are far more likely to cause some kind of problem at home than at a big factory. Such detailed considerations make life for system integrators a whole lot easier.
Let's take, for example, this controller made by OVEN. It is designed for automating moderately complex units. What I find convenient about it is that whenever it's necessary to replace this controller, we do not have to detach all these wires. It's simply enough to remove the top and bottom panels and replace them. It features a pre-installed embedded Linux core, which gives us a more up-to-date programming environment that allows one to create multi-controller projects. We can assemble the target controller from just the modules that will eventually be required for the system. We simply extend the main module with all the additional bits we'll need. On the programming level, this enables us to cluster the modules, which means that all functions of any failed controller can be taken over by another, still operable one.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of Technology Update. Hopefully some of the innovations you've seen will help make your home truly your castle. We'll see you next time, and until then, enjoy the ride.
Away from home, mode activated. Lights and electronics will be switched off. Alarm system activated. Goodbye.